Good morning everyone, my name is Rick and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to show you lots of Hoyas, and I'm going to start here in the front yard where I've been doing some landscaping projects, and I also wanted to show you this variegated agave that's gone into blooms. The blooms you can't really see, but now it has all these seed pod looking round structures. So I think that's going to be like that for a while longer, probably a couple months. And then what happens is that this plant dies completely, and you're left with a lot of baby agave americanas. So that's the scoop with that. But before it dies, it usually puts out tons and tons of pups, which I have placed them all over the backyard. There's some in the backyard and there's some here in front of the house. So I did put some sod here in the front. This has been here for a couple months, and recently this little patch. So I don't like a lot of grass because here in Florida it's really tough to keep a nice looking lawn. So if I can manage this 8 square foot patch over here, I'll be happy. In the front here, I'm going to add a lot more bromeliads and just a lot of xeriscaping plants, so I don't have to water at all. So you can see bad year for mangoes here in Pinellas County, Florida. I think a lot of people are complaining. We had a cold front moving in when they were in bud, so we lost a lot of flowers, but somehow these survived. I picked a few. They're in the house already, ready to eat, and these should be picked out soon. And so yeah, this is the bromeliad beds that I worked on over the winter, and they're filling in quite nice. So yeah, so let me just take you into the backyard and show you the Hoyas. So we're back here in the side gate, and there's not a lot going on. A lot of new growth, but not a lot of blooms. There was a UT33 that bloomed kind of hidden. It's closing up now, but it decided to bloom back there, and it originates over here in this pot. And not much else. My pentaphlebia, it keeps on budding up right after it blooms, so it's been blooming constantly, and this is probably going to be the 10th set of blooms on that one. It really does get gorgeous, good size leaves, and it's a really nice Hoya. The yellow on the flowers is quite beautiful. So back here, not much going on. Like I said, there's some orchids that are in bloom. Oh, this guy over here that I lost the tag a while back is quite beautiful. It's pretty fragrant. It's kind of a wild, crazy cattleya because it put out so much new growth over the last year. It's insane. So over here, this is the, you can see my EPC 1002, and it's blooming like crazy. It has blooms all the way up the tree. I don't know if you can see it. And there's more blooms coming up on my Burtonay. There's quite a few. I keep seeing more and more every day. And I don't know if you can see that up on that palm tree, there's a Hoya carrii crossed with Melaleuca. And as you can see, I can never get close enough. That's probably about 10-12 feet up the tree, and this poor Hoya has grown all the way up into the canopy, and it's branched out. So my project for this one is for this Hoya to cover this whole palm tree, so that'll be cool. So let me take you in the backyard. There's quite a few Aroids that are looking really cool because it's so hot and humid. And I'll show you start over here with my gloriosum. It's got to be cut soon because it's it's coming out of the pot there, and it's into the ground, and it's traveling towards the path here. And I think it has more on the ground there. So it seems to be happy here. It never misses a beat, even during the winter. It looks pretty good. Yeah, the temperatures here in Florida in the winter drop down on a rare occasion to like the low 40s and sometimes into the mid 30s, which is a little bit scary. And here in Pinellas County, we haven't had a freeze in probably 12 years that I'm aware of. Here in my backyard, at least, I haven't had a freeze. So let me show you the philodendrons. Of course, my Jose Bueno is getting out of control, and this is the new leaf. It's pretty nice and big and splashy. So this thing here is eventually going to be tied up to this palm tree, and hopefully it'll happily climb up the tree, and the leaves hopefully will get bigger. And on the side, I have this Philodendron Pink Princess, and it's putting out a lot of pink now, but for the longest time, it looked like that. So never lose hope. These can do strange things, and you can never figure out what makes them, you know, more variegated, more splashy, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, what happens is I lost interest in the plant, and I moved it to a lower shelf in the bench, and all of a sudden it started putting out these really colorful leaves. So maybe it was fertilizer, less light, maybe just being ignored, so it decided to stick out. So that's Philodendron Pink Princess. And over here, I got this as a cutting up about 2 years ago of this Epipremnum pinnatum. Let's see if I'm saying that right. Yeah, pinnatum. So yes, this is, I got it. The original leaves weren't very variegated, but since I've been growing it, it's putting out a lot of new variegated leaves, and I'm beginning to see some fenestrations there, some pink pinholes that is typical of this plant. So hopefully I can hook it up to a tree and it'll take off. So I have quite a bit of vine. This vine is probably about 4 feet long. And over here I have quite a few stunning plants that I'm in love, and I have it close to the back door so I can see them more often. And this is a Frydek variegated that I got in a couple of weeks ago, and it's put out this new leaf, which is quite stunning. So that leaf just unfurled. It's really beautiful. And then underneath here is this ring of fire. And this new leaf is really gorgeous. It has all these fiery red colors. This is the prior leaf. It was almost completely white except for that little patch. But in general, it's a very variegated ring of fire, and I'm so happy that I've had it, and I've had it in my care for a couple months, and it seems to be doing pretty well. And down here is the obliqua. Like I said in the prior videos, it came with a little bit of discoloration because it was in the mail for so long. But it's putting out like these long runners here, and I'm thinking that when they get pretty long like that, I can they'll probably fill out with new leaves. There's 2 of them, and then maybe I can start new plants from it. It's also putting out new growth from the base. And this is the tortum. As you can see, the new leaf that's unfurling is quite spectacular. I like how frazzled it looks. It's really pretty cool looking. And this is a more mature leaf. Really like that one. And this over here is my Burl Marx variegated, and it's doing quite beautiful with these new variegated leaves. And this is Philodendron glorious. He's quite happy as well here. The leaves keep getting bigger. And let's see what else back here I wanted to show you. I think I showed in the last few videos, this is my Hoya phylora going wild. It's been getting some rainwater. Maybe it's rained like almost every day. Yesterday it didn't rain that much, but it seems to be doing so well here, and it's really climbing up the tree all the way up into the canopy of that palm. It seems to be enjoying the spot quite a bit, and I hope to get some blooms soon. Keep looking, but nothing yet, so I'll keep you updated on that. And this is a Manila that is about to flower. Always puts out a really gorgeous pendular flower that lasts quite a long time. Really love it. And there's another Manila, a different kind that I got last year down in Homestead, Florida. And I want to show you guys the Hoya retusa that keeps growing long and long. So I have it planted in this planter, and it's grown so much. It's like about 3 feet long, a vine, and it keeps putting out a lot of new growth. So it seems to be happy. There's not a lot of soil in that planter. It's not that big. Maybe the inside of it is like a 4-inch pot amount of soil, but it seems to be really happy in there, and so the must be getting the right amount of light and the right amount of rain, because this Hoya can be a little tricky. People tell me inside growers that it can be a little difficult. So let me get to the Hoyas that I picked out to show you guys. But let me show you the Hoya pubicalyx. It's a very common Hoya, but when it blooms, it really does put out a really showy cluster that lasts quite a long time, maybe close to 2 weeks. So this is a Hoya pubicalyx. I'm thinking this variety is called pink silver, but I'm not absolutely sure on that. I'm not really keen on naming the different pubicalyx because there's quite a few and they get so confusing. So I just have it labeled Hoya pubicalyx, and as you can see, this is a really large plant in a 8-inch pot. So I do have the chickens out, so if you see some birds running around, that's what they're doing. They get a Sunday break from being in the coop, and I let them out, and they really enjoy it. They're out for a couple hours. I keep an eye on them because there's some big birds, or I call them big birds, but they're actually red-tailed hawks, and they never hear, but neighbors have told me that they've seen them kill some birds and chicks and all that. So I'm being really careful about that. So yeah, the first one here on the stand is this Hoya New Guinea Ghost. As you can see, it's doing really well. I have it outside. It seems to really like the heat and humidity. As the name implies, it comes from New Guinea. It's a Nicholsonii type Hoya, and it's a really fast grower. And since I took the growing tip and cut it and then turned it down, it invigorated these nodes to put out new growth. And I find that to be the case a lot of times. Not always, but when you take the growing tip and you bend it down, the prior nodes will put out new growth. So as you can see, it's doing pretty well. Pretty happy here in my care. Oh, and this guy here, and I've showed him in prior videos. As you can see, like this smaller leaf, really kind of compact plant that I had. It was growing in a terrarium inside the house. And so the temperature was about 73 in there and really humid. And it has a grow light in there. So these leaves, as you can see, like they're smaller than my fingernail. So it looked really cute in there. So I had taken out for a video a couple, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I left it outside because it's been really warm and humid, and I wanted to see what happened. So since it's been out here, the leaves have quadrupled in size. They look different. So you have this leaf that's quite big. It's quite beautiful, actually. But it's not even resembling this little leaf here. So there's a lot of people that are naming Lacanoses based on just the leaf. And that's a little dangerous because even on the same plant, as you can see here, you have some different forms of it. So it's a little tricky. So I just have this as Lacanosa silver. I don't give it any other name. It's pretty, as you can see, it's really splashy. And it's quite cute. So and this is Hoya MA07. It was a gift. I got it about a little bit of over a month ago. It seems to be doing really happy here in Florida. With the heat and humidity, I think with my fertilizing routine as well, the leaves got to be about 3 times bigger than the original leaves. As you can see, they're really cute when they're this size, and they're pretty compact. So what I'm thinking is if I put this under a grow light, the leaves will return back to being small, but out here in the heat and humidity and with a routine fertilizer, the leaves get quite big. They get to be about 3 inches long at least. So that's Hoya MA07. And here I have a Hoya stenophylla. I really, really like the growth pattern of this Hoya. It seems to be very delicate, but it really isn't. It reminds me like of a weeping spruce tree in the way it grows. It grows up a little bit and then it just hangs down. The flowers, apparently, I have never bloomed, but apparently they don't last very long. And and I think they prefer a little cooler weather than I can provide for it here in Florida. But so I basically grow this Hoya here for the foliage. And as you can see, it's quite attractive. And this is Hoya Silver Lady. I got her a couple weeks ago from Thailand. And as you can see, it's putting out, this is a new growth point. So it seems to be pretty happy. I have it in this self-watering pot on the top shelf of the greenhouse. It's about 50% shade cloth in there. And yeah, it has another name. I'll let you read the tag because I'll probably butcher it if I try to say it. So it's growing in there, I would say, pretty wet. But the temperatures are high, so you don't want it to completely dry out. So this is Hoya Silver Lady. And over here I have this Hoya species Affinis Burtone. You can see I was really happy with this plant. It had some really gorgeous variegated leaves. It seemed to be growing pretty well. And all of a sudden these next 2 nodes put out these 2 solid green leaves. And I kind of got discouraged and ignored this plant, and I probably forgot to water it. And all of a sudden, the next node comes out. These what look like they're going to be extremely well variegated, like the previous growth. So, yeah, just never give up. Hoyas do whatever they feel like doing, and sometimes it's not what you want to see, so you just have to be patient. And they can surprise you. So this is Hoya species Affinis Burtone variegated. And this Hoya, I think I've shown it to you guys a few episodes back. And this Hoya, every time I look at it, I fall in love with it. It's so cute. The leaves are so beautiful. The new growth is quite exquisite. I have no idea what the flowers look like, but the leaves, as you can see, they're on the small size. And this is from Borneo, as the tag says. It's from Cerisa, and that's her collection number 2023. And as you can see, the new growth comes out this really nice maroon color. It's quite exquisite. So, and it seems to be growing pretty well. I've only had this Hoya maybe a total of like 2.5 months, and it's looking pretty well. So excited to get it to bloom so I can share it with you guys. And this Hoya I received from Thailand as well as Hoya, I believe it was Indonesia Splash. As you can see, the leaves are quite splashy, very stable. Even the new growth, as you can see, is pretty splashy. I'm thinking it's some kind of variety of Hoya colina. I will know more when it flowers, but who needs flowers when this Hoya can look so beautiful? Yeah, I'm really excited to get this growing into a large specimen plant. It's going to be a really beautiful plant. And all of a sudden, the sun went down, and we're getting some really big clouds, so hopefully I don't have to water this afternoon, and we'll get a nice thunderstorm, because these philodendrons out here love it, and these orchids. This, I think it's a catasetum. It's going to bloom. I have no idea what it looks like because I got it as a seedling. So it'll be interesting to see that. So let me get back to the Hoyas. So that is, I got it as a species splash from Indonesia, and it's probably a colina type Hoya. The sun is back out, and it's getting really hot here in Florida. It's already over 90 degrees at noontime, so hopefully the cloud cover will come back, and that really alleviates the heat quite a bit. So let me just get to this Hoya real quick, and it's Hoya species Sumbawa. I'm assuming that's the location name it was found. A lot of times Hoyas are found in the jungle and just giving a location name. So there's no flowers, so you can't really ID it. So you give it a location name until it does so, and then you can figure out if it's a new species or a variant of another species. So with Hoyas, you just never know. Sometimes you just have to be patient and wait. And this is a Hoya hybrid by Cerisa. It's a Carrii erythrina. And you can see it's really quite stunning. This is a newer leaf. It's really beautiful. And since I got it, it's put out this set of leaves, this new leaf, and it's filling up this vine. It's put out all this new vine. So in about 10 weeks, so it put out all that new growth. So it's a pretty good grower. And I've seen pictures of the flower online, and it's quite exquisite. And the seedling number she has on this is SS7-21. So it's going to be a stunner. I cannot wait until I bloom this Hoya. And this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like and subscribe. And I hope to see you back next Sunday. So take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.